I was fascinated that the guys over at LightShed who just like tossing a bomb here and there. I love them. But man, they like tossing bombs. They said, fire Tim Cook at Apple. Yes, he's taken Apple from about $300 billion in revenues to $3.3 trillion, an 11x run in 14 years. Pretty good. Not so bad. I mean, he did stuff that literally, as genius as Steve Jobs was, Steve Jobs couldn't do, and took that company and operated the hell out of it for the last 14 years. But fire him. We need a wartime CEO, quote unquote, to deal with the fact that Apple's trailing in AI and also not spending tens of billions of dollars doing it, but they're trailing in AI. And they just had one of their top AI guys get lured away by Meta for $200 million over a few years, but still $200 million. We're talking about an F1 movie's worth of one guy. Probably pretty bright, but still one guy. So that makes baseball look like pikers. Just saying.
This isn't the first time that a high-profile analyst, I forget who was on CNBC last month, who
probably
said
Laura Martin.
He's not a wartime CEO. Call for him to step down. It still seems like kind of early innings in terms of AI. Apple's always been kind of wait and see and behind the curve and observing before stepping in. That's the reputation really for that. But the LightShed guys know their stuff. So I'm interested.
Well,
I mean, it's moving so fast that high-profile analysts look at the playing field and say, these guys are just not going to be able to catch up. That's interesting. You don't see that every day. A guy who's created as much wealth as Tim Cook gets said it's time to step down.
He's made a lot. And the other thing that comes out of this that doesn't get talked about quite as much then is, okay, Tim Cook leaves. Who takes over? Same week that LightShed's calling for Tim Cook to leave, his number two says he's going to retire by the end of the year, Jeff Williams. And Williams has been around as COO for 10 years. He's been in the company for 27. He knows more about that company than anybody, but probably Tim Cook. And very respected, was always the guy people say, well, Tim leaves, we got Jeff. Now they're going to have a guy who's a little bit younger, Sabi Khan, who's been running SVP of operations. So he's right in the whole meat grinder of how you make this gigantic beast move forward. Also a logistics whiz like Tim Cook was when he was tapped to take over for Jobs. And he's slightly younger. He's like 59. But you kind of want somebody who's going to be around for a decade. You know, if you tap him now, you need somebody who's going to be around for a while. And most of the guys that have been right there at Tim Cook's, right hand are 61, 62, Cook 64. I was like, if you take a successor who's 61, he's going to be pretty old to run a company in a decade.